Disabilities Committee meeting. My name is Trippy Congo, I'm Chair. Before we get started and talk about the agenda, I would like everyone to introduce themselves, starting on my right.
Councilman Vass Turner, 5th District.
Ciro Adams, Member at Large.
Rashima Dixon at large.
Andrea Queen, Legislative Admin.
And I want to thank everyone who's tuned in. I also want to thank our audience who is live with us in the committee meeting. Tonight we have 4 items on the agenda. We're probably going to touch 3 of them. We have a discussion about a resolution urging the Delaware General Assembly to enact legislation regarding the maintenance and the abatement of the public nuisance animals within the city of Wilmington. We're going to have a discussion about bid bugs in Quaker Hill neighborhoods, and also a discussion about the DART bus ridership pertaining to the veterans, seniors, and the parents of the AI DuPont Children's Hospital. First, we are going to change the order in which we're going to discuss the items. First, we're going to ask who is here to speak about the discussion about the DART bus ridership. If you can come to the mic, please, and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Marque. I represent the Coalition to Restore Bus Service to Rodney Square. I'm blessed to be here. I thank you all for having me.
All right, thanks for coming. So you want to open the discussion?
Sure.
Tell us your concerns?
Sure. The main concern, number 1 today, is DART has proposed route changes that would affect buses that have already been restored to Rodney Square. We were able to get service for the 6, the 2, and the 28 brought back to Rodney Square back in February. If you guys remember, December 17th, buses were removed from Rodney Square. Over half the buses were removed against most of the public's wanting them to move. Nobody really wanted it to happen, but it happened anyway. 1,500 signatures were sat in front of Governor John Carney, and he still went ahead and told DART to reroute those buses away from Rodney Square. After a month of protesting and civil disobedience and angry people petitioning and calling up his office, DART brought back, and I really want to give credit to Representative Potter and Senator Marshall, who were really proactive as far as getting the people what it was that they wanted. We got to think about everybody that's getting on the bus, especially with this committee being aging, disabled, community members that need the bus the most. You know, this committee is the committee that should care the most about what it is that's happening. And the buses that we were able to get restored to Rodney Square back in February, going outbound, not coming inbound, they only leave from Rodney Square, were the 6, the 2, and the 28. Those buses are very important. If we look, the 6 goes to University of Delaware. It goes down to Newark from Rodney Square, and it goes past Veterans Affairs. It goes down Kirkwood Highway. That population of people is important. I'm not going to say that any population of people is more important than any other population of people, but I care about the veterans. My grandmother, my uncle, 2 of my uncles served, and I feel like we can't underserve the people that serve this country. The 6 was a big deal for them to bring back, to me personally and to an entire community of people that cared enough to serve. And the 2 is a bus that goes to Concord Mall. You know, that bus goes up Concord Pike, and there's a huge population of people that ride that bus every day, thousands of people. The 28 bus, probably the most important bus out of all those buses that were brought back. The 28 goes to AI Children's Hospital, the Nemours Clinic. The 28 serves the population of people that is the most vulnerable. We're talking about sick children, disabled children, their parents that are unable to afford private transportation, that take them on the bus to get to doctor's appointments, to pick them up from appointments, to pick them up from daycare. The 28 bus has been proposed recently now. DART has new proposals. They want to reroute the bus going from Rodney Square now, the 28, since we brought it back in February. They have proposed There's a proposal that they reroute this bus and combine it with the 7. So when they combine that bus with the 7, it would take it up 4th Street. It would take it away from Rodney Square. It would make it harder for a population of people that live around Rodney Square, that live on the east side, that live on the north side, that live in a bigger group of people. You know, Rodney Square is a central location, so it's easier for the majority of the community to get to, which is why everyone was so upset that buses were removed from there in the first place, which is why we continue to fight for buses, more buses, not just the 62 and 28, but more buses to be restored to Rodney Square, which is why we can't allow for any more buses to be removed from Rodney Square. This proposal that DART has made would remove buses on December 9th. December 9th is only 2 months away. It's October, what's the date now? October
24th.
October 24th?
24th.
24th. So we're talking about just a month, really. December 9th. So this is a proposal. We know that the route changes that DART made before were proposed changes, but when they say proposal, it usually means that the decision is already made. So I would like for City Council, I would like for this committee to suggest, or maybe to write an ordinance to make it so that no more buses can be rerouted from Rodney Square, especially buses that they've already brought back, buses that they've already decided weren't ever supposed to go anywhere. They should have never left in the first place. I would like for City Council to work with the public, to represent the public. We have 3,000 signatures now. 3,000 signatures. People that don't agree with the route changes, that would like for the buses to be restored back to what they were before December 17th, 2017. And I could show videos. I could go on YouTube right now and show you countless videos of young people sitting on the ground at new stops, of elderly people sitting with their walkers instead of sitting on benches at Rodney Square at these new stops, of handicapped people, disabled people that are sitting at stops where there's no lights and there were no benches, but they're sitting in their motorized wheelchairs, not understanding why it is that they're going through what it is that they're going through just because these buses were rerouted. I would like to show video of one particular incident that affected an elder in the community that couldn't be here tonight because he's taking care of youth down at the Hicks Center. He's a trainer, physical fitness, been doing it for, 40-plus years. Some of us know him personally. Mr. Terry, this incident is separate from the DART incident. It's not exactly, it's not completely tied to it, but in a way you can draw a tie. You can find a tie. The Buccini Polling Group is one of the playmakers for this change at Rodney Square. They had something to do with it. They're going to be redeveloping Rodney Square. They bought the Hotel DuPont at Rodney Square. They have major influence over the governor and the mayor, and they were able to convince these elected officials to reroute, or to get DART to reroute these buses. Buccini Polling Group has a security force that is employed to only secure their buildings. They're supposed to secure buildings that they own, but that security force is called Global Security, or Global Protection, Global. Let's just call them Global now. There's a security force that wears black. They are ex-police, ex-Marine, ex-officers. They carry weapons. They have badges, and they enforce the streets, really. They patrol streets. They don't actually just employ or just service the buildings that they're supposed to be servicing. And Mr. Terry, who could be here tonight if he wasn't in the community serving the youth like he does at the Hicks Center every day, he shared a story with me of what happened to him in front of Citizens Bank on Market Street. And I want to share that story now.
Okay.
I go by God's law first,
Yes,
man
sir.
second.
Yes, sir.
Now, if they're going to take my right, God-given right of passage to walk respectfully up this street, then there's a confrontation going to come about. And it won't be nice. Everybody usually flows up the sidewalk and we acknowledge the other person's right of passage coming down. Some of the business executives sometimes will challenge your right of passage to the sidewalk. I've watched them. They will not yield to you having the right of way to walk on the sidewalk as you're walking to wherever you're going.
Tell me what you just told me about Uchini Poland's security force, global
Well,
security.
yesterday I had an incident, and I spoke to the officer down at William Hicks Anderson Center about it because I don't want to get into trouble. I'm not looking for any trouble.
Do they have a security guard there still, or did they get rid of the security guard, or is he
At
still
William
there?
Hicks Anderson
Yeah.
Center, yes.
He's still there?
Yeah.
Good.
But this incident happened uptown here.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right here in Center City,
and I
downtown.
told the officer to take a record of it. See, because I am not going to yield to anybody's intimidation here. If
He's
it's
trying to
not
intimidate
official-
you.
Yeah, if it's not the official business of a police, you know, that needs the command of the sidewalk. I don't believe that it's fair for any man to try to command.
The security guard, he's not police,
He's
right?
not- That's what I asked the officer. I said, who are they? You know? And I said, I will not yield.
You didn't know who they
So
were
if there's a
for.
physical confrontation coming, it shall come.
To the people of the city that live.
So, at the end of the video, I went into a dialogue about what it was that I thought should happen, what it is that could happen, what it is that should happen. And Mr. Terry does not deserve to be treated like less than a person. He doesn't deserve to be scared. This man is a proud man that deserves respect, that doesn't need to be feeling intimidated by anybody. And obviously, as y'all saw, he's not somebody that is going to be intimidated by anybody. But, you know, sometimes we act proud, you know, we stand up and we stick our chests out and everything. But it's because I feel like that day he was afraid. He didn't have a gun. He didn't have a badge. He didn't have the power to tell them what it was that they should do with the sidewalk on the sidewalk. I've personally witnessed those guards hand in hand with community, with a young black man. I don't know what it was that he was supposed to have done, what it was that they were engaging with him for, but when I stood up and I tried to stop, because I didn't know at the time, I didn't know what they were supposed to be there for either. I didn't know if they was police or what. But when I stood up and I said something, they both walked in different directions. It was over. That wasn't something that a cop would do. A cop's not going to just walk off from an incident like that because somebody stands and says something to somebody. So I know that they're stepping over their bounds. They're doing too much. I would like to know what city council, we have another city council member that just joined us. I want to thank you for allowing me to be here as well, Ms. Oliver. I would like for everyone here to state their opinion, their ideas, put forth some sort of effort to make this situation more peaceful, more fair, and more civil for everyone, because our community deserves better than to have elders in fear of what it is that could come their way when they're just walking down the street like they do every day when they're getting off from work from helping out the youth. It's not right.
Yeah, I want to thank you for bringing that to the public's attention. I have received also a couple, I guess, complaints about. I'm not sure if it's the same security force that you're talking about, but this security force was making an arrest, and they weren't the Wilmington PD. So I am going to ask for council staff if we can reach out to the Puccini polling group, and maybe they can come in and give us just let us know who this group is that they hire for security, and if they can tell us their parameters and what they're hired for. If they have received any complaints from citizens about excessive use of force. So I'm going to ask for council staff to reach out to them, please.
Yes, sir. You said they're arresting people?
I'm not sure if it's them. I heard that it was a group. It sounds familiar. It sounds similar to them. I'm not sure if it is them though.
They wear all black. Our city, I feel, is, I don't want to say heavily policed and act like it's something that, but we have a police presence that has ramped up in the past couple of years of Wilmington police. We have downtown visions. They wear yellow downtown. Downtown area, I feel, is, it's tight, and downtown visions has surveillance, so everything's on camera. And I use the same, thought process when I'm thinking about Rodney Square and how Rodney Square is on camera. There's police presence. There's always an officer on duty that's around there. I feel like there's no reason that anyone should be in fear of their safety in that area when we have the people that are responsible for securing the area and protecting people on duty, and we've got cameras. We shouldn't be in fear of these people and these other agencies that are employed out here that are only supposed to be securing certain buildings. They can't overstep their bounds. We do need to be proactive, and we do need to find out what it is that they've actually been employed to do, what it is that they can't do, and the public needs to know that too, so that the public isn't made to feel like they're threatened by these people that are supposed to be keeping them safe. Because right now the community feels threatened by this force.
Again, I thank you for your comments. Does anyone on council have any comments?
I do.
Councilman Turner.
Thank you, Councilman Congo. I totally agree that with my colleague that we need to find out what the parameters are, what they do secure. I have seen them as well. I have never experienced them doing anything that would alarm me to say it, but I have heard different people say that there are encounters with them. So I definitely agree with that. Downtown is definitely more secure than it's ever been, and I'm definitely happy for that. But I definitely don't want anybody rights to be violated or be disrespected in any way, shape, or form, even by our higher police department. So,
yes, sir.
So definitely, I think this is something that's noted. I think all of us as council probably then heard something or along the lines, if not security, but something that's odd up in that area. So we definitely need to find out. And I thank you for bringing it to our attention at this committee meeting as well.
You talk about intimidation, and you talk about our police force itself on its face. I will say this, September 28th at the Wilmington Love event, I don't know if you realize, but I attempted to make a comment. I wanted to speak out up there, and I was assaulted myself by the Wilmington police, and I was taken into custody, and I was charged with disorderly conduct for trying to make a statement about love at the Love event. And I'll say this about that group, back to Puccini Poland group, or the global security force employed by Puccini Poland group. Those guys, they're none of them are black, none of them are brown. There's no diversity in the group. Every one of them is white every one of them is a man. There's no women.
Mr. Chair, point of order, like Mr. Chair.
Every one of them, most of them that I see, they have tattoos, they have shaved heads, and my background, when I look at like that group of people and I see there's no diversity, there's nobody black, there's no women, it's all white men, most of them with skinheads,
Mr. Chair, point of
and they
order.
have tattoos. To me, it
I'll let him finish.
it just doesn't look like a group that will be welcoming or kind to somebody that looks like me as a young black man or an older black man. And I would like to find out why that is, why they don't have more diversity.
All right, again, thank you. We are going to request their presence at one of our meetings. Any other council members want to make any comments?
Sure, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
No, I was just going to,
Councilwoman
I was just
Oliver.
pretty much rebutting what Councilman Turner and yourself said, that I look forward to seeing or hearing about the security. I just want to stick to the subject. I look forward to hearing about this, the security that's downtown that allegedly are harassing people. So I look forward to that. That's all I was going to say.
Okay.
If you
thank
talk to the community, if you talk to anybody up there, you ask them, they'll tell you exactly what it is that I'm telling you right now.
Thank
You just
you.
have to talk to the people.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks again. Any other council members? Yes, Councilwoman Dixon.
Yeah, and I will say, I know Creative Vision Factory also has had a lot of their members have been also talked to by the same company, so they brought it up as an issue as well. And I think Michael actually put a picture of the van or the truck on that they drive actually on Facebook to kind of tell other people also about what's going on. So I think now it is a lot of people kind of paying more attention to what's going on with it. I know they are I believe they're in the building with off of 11th and Market, where their office space is.
The same building where Coons and Lisa Blunt Rochester, 11th and Market.
Yep.
The
Thanks for that.
global security force and the population of people that is low income, which is what I put on the agenda for what it was that I wanted to talk about. The community that doesn't have a whole lot of money, doesn't have a whole lot of resources, doesn't have a whole lot of help. The underserved community, people that are handicapped a lot of times, older people, aging, the people that a lot of times have drug addictions, mental health problems, disabilities. That community of people is the community of people that is served at the Creative Vision Factory. People that don't have a lot of resources, people that need help. And that community is the community that group, the global security, is assigned to police and to harass and hurt. So I'm not surprised that Creative Vision Factory would say something to you or anyone else about this group that is threatening them. Zero?
Any other comments from council members?
No, thank you, Chair.
Okay. Again, Mr. Hall, we want to thank you for coming and joining us this evening. Again, we are going to ask that Buccini
Closing.
Poland Group come up to give us a presentation on their global security.
Thanks
Yes,
a lot.
sir. Yes, sir. I want to close real quick just with the 28 bus. That's the most important thing. That's why I came up here today. It's all connected. This what we have going on in our community, a lot of people don't want to say the word gentrification. They don't want to say that word, and I don't like saying it either, but I do like saying equality, and I do like saying fairness, and I do like saying respect. And I feel like we can have all those great things here in this city, and there's no reason that we have to separate ourselves and exclude certain individuals just because they don't have everything that everybody else has. That's more reason to bring people in and to help them and to include them in what it is that we're trying to develop here. That's what we're obligated to do as human beings. We have to love the immigrant. We have to feed the poor. We've got to take care of each other. And I feel like you guys are on the track to doing that here with this committee and allow me to be here today and say these words. I thank you. And the 28 cannot leave Rodney Square like I said, I would like for some sort of resolution, some sort of ordinance to be made so that no more buses are taken away from Rodney Square, especially buses that they've already brought back, buses that they've already admitted that should have never left. They can't move the 28, the 6, the 2, or any more buses from Rodney Square. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks again.